Hello and welcome back. Today in module number 12, I know that I skip it and I don't pay attention to it, and it's still important subject. So I'm going to talk about what is social network, how we convert it into visualization, and in the end, you're going to see example of ggNet network visualization with ggplot2 in order for you to combine that into R and in order for you to implement something that is quite amazing. So we will see how to do that and we'll learn how to apply that. But first, we need to talk about the philosophical aspect of social network. So let's begin. What is a network? I'm sure that you are better than me about what is a network. So a network is a specific set of links among defined set of persons with additional property that characteristics of those links as a whole may be interpreted that the social behavior of persons involved. And this is Michel in Before Social Network Exists in 1969. So, high school network, all of us have been experienced it. And in social media, we have LinkedIn, we have YouTube, we have Twitter, we have Pinterest, we have so many things and so many networks that we are connected in one form or another. So this is a very funny characteristics of who is antisocial network, who is a network person, and I am probably the one of antisocial network. Even though I have a Facebook account, I am the one who says, oh, we should stop listening to it. But the idea of a social network is a connection between people. All of us has connection from the past, from the present, and maybe in the future. But in the idea of visual analytic and the idea of connection, those are the things that visual analytics is so good at. Look at this. This is from high school, and the distribution of the data is based on grade. 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. And so if you can see the connection and who's making the connection most proficient, what grade is it, and you will very soon learn that the people in 12th grades are not as social as the people who are on 9th grade or 8th grade. So this is, again, we can look at that white and black and mix and how they based on race, and it will be also interesting. But the network is the idea of the connection. What is Chris has, what is Pat has, and what is the connection they all share. So who has more power, Chris or Pat? So overall, the idea is that in 1930, the Gestalt theory was established. The idea of the Gestalt theory is the idea of how we are looking at the image. And it was based on that we have perception of how we look at images, and it's based on the social network idea. So the social network applied to the Gestalt theory, and based on it, they were able to develop it into how do we see images and how to apply that based on the Gestalt theory. So the idea here is that in social network, we have a set of nodes, which is people or organization. We have a set of connection, which is the node that is the friends, accusation, relative, whatever you have that makes the connection alive. So social network analysis is often interesting in the path or the chain of communicating information. How do we, when we post something on Twitter, how does go about? Example, today there was a case against person who says that the President Trump does not communicate with the people on Twitter as it's supposed to do. So again, this is a social network application or theory, and we have in this ideal, we have the fundamental concepts of the analysis. We have the actors, we have the rationale tide, we have the tide, we have tried, we have subgroups, we have groups, we have relationship, all together compose the social network. So the actor is, example, people in a group, department with a corporation, or public service agency in a city, or national state in a world system. And so again, this is a collective social unit. The rationale tide is the actor that link to the another by a social tide. Example is the establish a link between a pair of actors. And so the idea here is that we are trying to make the connection between the actor one to another. Example, you gave me your notes from the class. You are a rationale tied to me because you gave me the notes, and based on your notes, I gave it to another person who basically, based on that, succeed in class. Those are the tie that we have. Tied is a tie between two actors. So basically, Bob and Chris share the notes that from the class, and based on it, they were able to pass successfully the class. So it shows the properties of the pairs of relations, such as multiple relations tend to occur together, example in exam, example in marriage, or example in family tie, and so on and so on. The triad is the idea with another or in three-dimensional. So we have not only two actors, we have three actors. So if actor A likes actor B, and actor B turns like actor C, and then actor A will also like actor C. So you see here is a triangulation between those three actors, and by doing that we have a tie which gives us dimensions with regard to the visualization. Another subject is the subgroup. A subgroup of actors is defined as any subset of actors and all the ties among them. Example, I have the people that I meet every Friday afternoon, and we meet for beer and we talk about visualization. So the subgroup is all the people that I meet on Friday afternoon to talk about visualization and over beer. So those are the subgroup. A group is a collection of actors which ties and are to be measured. So actors in a group belong together in a more or less bound sets. Example, if the group of people that I am connected and I am meeting with them on Friday afternoon and talk about the visualization, and all of us belong in some form and some way to USF, this will make us a group because the group is belong to attend or employed by USF, and we all meet on Friday afternoon, and we all meet and discuss visualization. So this is a group. Relationship is the collection of ties of a specific kind among members of the group. Example, a set of relationship among pairs of children in the classroom. You have friends in the classroom, or children in the classroom, I don't know, it depends how you see it, and you have relationship. You share notes, you take the same classes, and so on. Those are relationships. So how does it work? What are the network data? What are the types of network data? So what are we having? We have variables, we have nodes, and we have affiliation of variables. A variable is a structural variable. and it can be, and we have two types. We have structural variable, and then we have composition variable. The structural variables are measured on pairs of actors and are concentrated on of the social network data set. They are measured ties of a specific kind of pairs of actors. Composition variables is based on attributes that the actors all have, such as gender, race, and even education. So all of them are part of our composition variables. The nodes are the number of set of entities which the structural variables are measured. And so one mode network, all actors come from one set, or two mode network, which is there are two set of actors that is consistent of cooperation and other of non-profit organization. So we have one set versus two mode, one mode versus two mode, and those are the things that are very important to us when we are starting to analyze those network. Affiliation variable is the third type of variables that we have. Each affiliation variable is on a specific subset of the actor, and that subset can be, example, income, or can be anything that I'll be able to, or volunteer organization that we are belong. The people that I meet on Friday that are affiliation with USF, and their affiliation, and they're attending those Friday meetings to talk about visualization, they also serving as in the community garden in their neighborhood. So this is affiliation variable that is along with the variables that connect us, is affiliate with their identity. So we have also we have what is the population, who are the relevant actors. Example, when we are doing a faculty in the academic department, we have the person who is in charge of the department, who is called the chair. We have associate professor or professors that are considered to be on the higher end. We have assistant professor who is just in the beginning of his tenure process, and we have instructors. All of them are part of our population when we are trying to define how we define this network population into our study. And so those are definitions that Wisdom and Forbes defined in 2008 about the boundaries and the sample that we are taking into account with regard to population. So what do we analyze basically in social network analysis? We focus on the interaction between individuals and groups. Example, the node in this case is any identity in a network, person, system, or group or organization, and is relationship between two nodes. So we are looking at a person or network, and what is the affiliation that he has in this social network. So if I have friends, and those friends connected to me, those are the things that I'm looking at in my analysis between interaction that I have with them in my social network. We have all type of understanding of the framework that we are trying to do. We have graph theory, which is also a mathematical theory. We have the strength of links of ties, which is also part of how we see things. We have social execution or social capital, and again we try to understand what is this network works and how is the theory help us to analyze it. So all of that part is part of the society that we are in nowadays, and the theory help us to understand, help us to comprehend what we see. So the type of networks, it can be set up to one mode network or two modes network, and even more, but this is the basic definition that Wisdomon defined in 208 about type of network we are talking about. So what is important inside? We are talking about the actors, we are talking about relationship and actor attributes. So can be a variety of types. People, we have variety of people. We have subgroup consists of people, an organization, and collectives. We have communities, and we have nations. We have different type of network that we can look at in order for us to analyze it and how to apply that into that. I gave some definition where we live, and this is again old people that try to define social life and social network. And again, look at the dates. And in 1964, Peter Blue says to speak of social life is to speak of the association between people, the association in work and in play, in love and in war, to trade or in worship, to help or to handle. Those are the things that we are looking at when we are doing social network analysis. So what is social network analysis? First of all, it is a set of rationale methods for systematically understand and identify connection among actors. It is motivation is to understand those types. It is also grounded in systematic empirical data. What does it mean, empirical data? It means that we go out and measure those connections, and it is basically heavily depends on your work and our work in the graphic visualization. That's why every visual analytics consists of and has to have social network chapter or model that will talk about that. So it is embedded a lot of a wide range of theories that try to give us a hand about what is social capital, what is network, what is social network, what is nowadays social network, and why everyone is studying those subjects. So the social network approach is that the world is composed of networks, and it's not individual anymore. So the network provides us flexibility with regard to how social organization and thinking about social organization come into play. And this is why it's so important. Okay, I will show you my own analysis of Twitter data. And what I did was took Twitter data and I tried to analyze it based on TV show. I will post the article that I published with a person upstairs in Masscom about what is the social network and how it applies to the TV series. And this is my outline. This is how I apply that into it. So the what you see here is connection, the connection between the actors, but the actors in black is the actual actors in the network. So they are the one who played in the series, and everyone was talking about them, and they will become actors because of what their voice was, the people that were connected to them, and they try to share their experience. So those are the things that I did in order for me to show this analysis and how to apply. With regard to R, okay, so now the fun begins, and now you're going to hate me more. So I'm going to use already something that established, and this is a package that you need to install. So you need to install the package by install it. Hold on a second. So you install the package, you run it, and then you're going to install this, which is part of the R. You run the command, and you have those libraries. Those are the libraries that you need to work in order for you to apply. The network itself is quite simple. The syntax is quite simple. So you have net and you are calling for what is it considered to be the net graph, which this is what you want the graph to look at, and the net is the network. Net and direct false is what the data set of. So what it will give us in this sense, it will give us when we apply ggnet, it will give us this. This is the output of the code itself. So the mode in colors, I can add to the ggnet more colors in order for me to make more sense out of it. So in this case, I add colors, I add dimensions, I add different attributes to the nodes in order for me to make it more clear. So there's different colors. We can place a placement on it. We can have different colors, and again, one color versus other colors, and we can again edit and make the things go away. I will post this web page on Canvas, so you will have it. I will also give you a summary of the code itself, so you will be able to create that, and I want you to just apply that, see if it works for you, see what is it consist of. And again, this is really interesting because one of the things that we like to see, and this is something that we have seen so far so much, is that the analysis of social network with regard to the election, the analysis of how we connect to each other, and this is again the basic foundation of the R and its improvement of what we can do in order for us to apply different graphic elements or different attributes in order for us to make everything more smoother and more interesting, in order for us to apply something like that. And again, this is quite cool because you are, again, we have period, we can see it quite clearly, and this is again the beauty of R, the power of R with regard to social network analysis. So let me summarize again. Social network is about the actors. We want to learn the connection between the actors have to one another, or to the group, or to the network that they are connected. And so the idea here is that we are trying to analyze it, we are trying to apply that. I did not go over again to the network itself, to the theory that is quite long. There's a lot of theories on the subject. They are quite long, but this is part of the concept that we are trying to achieve using the network as a platform. So I hope that makes sense. I hope it will help you. I will provide the code here and the example. So I will also provide links to it, so you will be able to apply that. If you have problems, please let me know. Let me help you to create your own social network with ggplot2. I think it is an exciting thing to do. Until next time, I hope you have a good week. See you then.